December 5th, 2018, 7 o'clock. It's considered a public hearing and a regular meeting. So the first thing we'll do is we'll call to order the public hearing. Do a motion. Do anything want to do a motion?
No, I think you can
No,
open
I just call it. All right. So anybody want to talk about it? Have any questions? Anything they want to bring up?
I think we went through it pretty much last week. Went through every line and that, so.
We're pretty close.
Yeah,
All right.
we added, adjusted, and tweaked and did what we could.
All right. Do we have anybody in the gallery that would like to comment? All right, with nobody being here, I'll go ahead and entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Take the motion.
All right, I have a motion to close it out. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
For a second, all in favor?
Right,
All right, then on to tonight's agenda. Anybody have any comments, concerns, questions?
no,
I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve tonight's agenda. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Troy's got the second. All in favor?
Aye.
On to tonight's consent agenda. Any comments, questions, concerns?
There's a correction on the minutes from November 14th. There was, on the election results, the first part of it's on page 5. The first listing was correct. All the names are on there correct and the numbers. And as you get down to the vote tabulation, it's got the mayor side of it's good. The council member side of it says Jan Sheets, then Pat Becker and Michael Clavin instead of my name in there. With the second one under Jan.
oh, yeah,
Page here.
so that should be changed.
So you can make that correction.
All right.
Otherwise, I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
All right, I have a motion to approve.
Second.
Change, second. All right, all in favor?
Aye,
On to employee recognition. So what we're gonna start doing is every year in December, we're gonna take a moment in our last meeting of the year to basically, give recognition to our employees of the city. We haven't done that in a while. I know we haven't done it since I've been mayor. So we're gonna start doing this every year, just recognize all the hard work that the employees have done for the last year and recognize them for their years of service. So what I have here is for official recognition. We have Brian Paterka, who has served the community for 13 years. Dave Bregelman has served for 15 years. Mark Berg for 16 years. Jim Rademacher for 24 years. Ernie Junker with 26. And then Mona Hag for 30 years. So I have here, what we have here is a certificate of appreciation for you guys. If you guys want to, I'll call your guys' name if you want to come up. I'll hand that to you. So Jim?
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Jim.
Thanks, guys.
All
Yep.
right. Ernie Junker? Thank you, Ernie.
Thank you, Ernie. Thank you.
And then Mona Hag.
Glad she showed up tonight.
She knew she was getting something out of it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mona.
Yay, Mona.
And just kind of close this section of the meeting out. I can't thank you guys enough for all the hard work you guys do. The city runs very smoothly with you guys out, with all the hard work you guys put in. So, thank you. want to add anything?
No.
All right, on
Well
to
said.
2019 levy and budget. So we've got, first on the agenda is Resolution 2018-33. This will be approving the final tax levy. And, of course, oh, I have it up here. All right, so this is a resolution approving the final tax levy. So our general fund levy will be $500,000. 2013 B Go Improvement Bond will be at $60,000. 2018-A Go Improvement Bond is $5,000 for a total levy to be certified with the state of Minnesota of $565,000. Any questions? All right, then I will go ahead and make a motion to approve Resolution 2018-32, approving the final tax levy.
I second that.
I have a second by Jan. All in favor? Okay. And then on to adoption of the 2019 budget. We'll go ahead and make a comment. I'm happy with where the numbers are at. You know, we went through and I think we went through them a few times this year. I'm very excited with what we've got in store for the next year. Any other comments?
We did, excuse me, Mr. Mayor, we did
Sure.
receive information that the tax capacity rate is going down, even though that we raised the levies.
Oh, okay.
That's what it was, 120, it'll be at 115.8.
115.8. Well,
quite a
that's
drop.
quite a drop.
It is. Property value
Went up.
in the area went up. The tax capacity rate went down, so that's a good deal.
Excellent, excellent.
It's almost 10% from what, 2 years ago?
I believe so.
It was 124.9 or something?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's good.
Good. And with that being said, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the 2019 budget.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, on to 2018 improvement project. Kent, how you doing tonight, sir? Good. Good. Good.
Okay, I don't have a whole lot to discuss regarding progress on the project. As you know, I paved the day of the council meeting last month. Since then, they've done some miscellaneous cleanup work to get it ready for the winter, put some street signs up, things like that. The main issue I wanted to bring to your attention is in regards to the sewer service to the old fire hall building. We were notified last Friday that that was backing up and the daycare could not use their bathrooms. So on Friday, we did some work to try to figure out what was going on, got the contractor involved right away, of course. And as you may recall, we did line those sewer mains and the sewer services as part of the project. So R.L. Larson contacted the sewer lining sub and got them involved. And step one, of course, is to figure out what's going on. So the sewer lining sub was planning, actually they were here on Monday to televise the main services and so on and figure out what the issue was. On Monday they could not get their equipment to work. So that was a lost day. They were back here today and got their cameras into the sewer services and discovered that the sewer service from the old fire hall building, as it goes east, it does not connect directly into the sewer main. It actually crosses over the sewer main and ties into another service that's coming from one of the lots towards the highway. So when they lined the sewer service towards the highway, they effectively sealed off the sewer service for the old fire hall building. So that's what happened. They're planning to dig tomorrow to access that sewer service pipe and cut open the liner so that the old fire hall sewer service works again. Any questions about that?
Is this one of those things where we just, because that building's been there for so long that we just didn't know that that sewer line was connected in that fashion?
Well, as part of contract, the specs on the project required the contractor to run a camera up these lines before they put the liner in. They didn't see it.
Okay.
So, you know, from our point of view, that's on them, that's their job to see it. So, that's where we're at with it. Obviously, the priority is to get the sewer service functional again, and obviously, that's a huge inconvenience next door, so.
So what have they been using for bathroom? They've been coming over here?
Right.
So when will they get that opened up?
If, you know, barring any setbacks tomorrow, it should be operational. They're planning to be here 8:30 to start digging. I understand the sewer service going east is about 5 feet deep. So once they get through the frost, it shouldn't take them too long to get there.
So they're gonna dig down to the service?
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to tie it into the main then?
We could, I think right now, the priority is just to open up that liner. And that's something we could look at doing, maybe next year, is reconfiguring that old fire hall service.
How deep is that main?
About 10 feet down.
I mean, that would be the right way to do it,
Yeah,
because who knows, what's gonna happen to those lots in the future.
right. Yeah, it's not a conventional installation. So we could look at, what that would entail, reconfigure that pipe so it ties in correctly.
I would assume that if we wanted to tie it in correctly, we'd have to wait till spring
I
anyway.
think that'd be the right move, yeah.
Okay.
So at this point, they're just gonna dig in the lot
Yep,
to open up that service.
correct. They'll cut out a piece of the service, I suppose, towards the east, and then they can insert their equipment into the service pipe and cut the liner out where the fire hall pipe comes in, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, let's look at time. You're thinking along the same lines, I am, just getting it done the right way in the spring.
I mean, we're going through all this work to make the sewer right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else on that? Okay, we do have a pay request for the project, which includes work through November 19th. The amount of the pay request is $198,760.99. So the majority of the work on this pay request is related to paving and concrete work and items of that nature that occurred after the cutoff date for the pay request number 2.
Why is it more money? Am
I show
reading this wrong?
$180,000.
I throw 180,000 on top here.
Okay.
Where does 193 come in?
I sent, I didn't have a signed copy when I sent the pay request to the city to include in the packet. I wanted to get it over to you before the packets needed to go out. So during the day on, was it Monday, R.L. Larson had requested that we increase payment for the mobilization and traffic control. And we looked at that, and that is something that was merited, just because of the way we've shuffled around some of the work on this project. It's projecting to come in under the original contract amount. So if we look at the work they've completed to date compared to what the final projected contract amount is looking like, it's about 80% complete. So that's where we bump those lump sum items. That's typically how those get paid, is percent of contract completed. So that's the difference between, I'm sorry, your numbers and my numbers.
Okay, so what's the actual number again, Ken?
Apologize for that. 198,760.99.
And I would assume that you'll send over an updated materials list and all that?
Yes.
Okay.
do you need a updated one of these for you to sign the
I have some.
pay, okay.
Yeah.
No, street commissioner, water sewer commissioner, any issues?
No, that's all legit. I'm okay with it.
Make motion to pay the bill?
All right, I have a motion to pay the bill. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Trevor with a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Okay. Anything else for me?
Okay.
Correspondence was going well, I take it?
Correspondence has been made, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Whether or not it's going on, that's a whole different story.
All right, so up to Eden Valley Fire Relief Association.
Well, as you know, we were here a couple months ago looking for a benefit increase on our retirement fund. You guys wanted some more solid numbers. I did have some projections done, but they were on the high end, what we were talking about. So I had Schlenner Wenner just shoot me some numbers on our final budget numbers for certain scenarios. So they wouldn't have to charge us to go through all the paperwork. So it looks like at our current, benefit level, what we're running, ask my guys on the committee to jump in whenever you feel necessary, but I think we're running at about 608, is that what it was?
Yeah, 600.
608,000, so, we're overfunded by about 110%. So, with our, Wells Fargo advisor coming out last month, and some of you guys were involved in that, he kind of put it in perspective to, we should really be watching that number, how much overfunded we are or underfunded, because that's kind of where we want to run our parameters. So he suggested that, if we stay within that 102 to 110% funded, that's some good numbers to stick by. And I think right now we're at 110. 108.5. So he kind of suggested that long-term, it's better to go for smaller increases more often than it is to make big jumps less often. Because if you make smaller jumps in your increase, the market can catch up quicker. You don't make a big dramatic change, So he suggested, maybe we just do a $50 increase this year, and then maybe get a commitment for 3 years, barring any substantial market ups or downs mainly. So he said every year you should kind of watch that percentage number, and if you're in them parameters, 102 to 110, then come in and look at, maybe getting an increase if everything looks good, and going down that route. So he had a lot of good, valuable information. I think the people that were there picked up a lot of good information from what he told us, and so going with his recommendations, because he's kind of third party, we felt that was the way to go. Coming to ask for a $50 increase. We'd still have, what do you say? We'd still be at 102, 103%. With the $50
I
increase?
think it was right around that percentage, because right now we're, 51,000 over, and I think when you tack on, if their projections are correct, when you tack on the $50 to what we have now, it drops it down to, we still run a surplus of 21 or something like that. 21,000, so we're still overfunded if we would increase $50.
Okay.
I really like the idea, when he presented it, especially I think it was a 5-year plan, wasn't it, Jeff? And each year, as you go along, well, then you look at each year
3 year, yeah.
and then decide if you needed to go up and down.
And he said it's not really a, all, hands-on commitment. It's just You guys saying that we're willing to look at $50 increase in the next 3 years if our numbers are correct, so.
Okay.
One thing I took away from that, which I was really appalled at, was before this last increase, it was 23 years prior to that. And to me, for what you guys do, I just think that's unacceptable. I don't think that should happen.
Yeah,
And I took a lot of good information out of that meeting. And I'm okay with that. that
Yeah, we kind of
$50.
decided too, we shouldn't have to jump that big of numbers. I mean,
Right.
Fortunate for us, when we did that big jump, the market was strong and we, coasted through it. But not saying that would happen all the time, and,
Right.
yeah, there's some factors in our control and out of our control, that it went that long without an increase, so, yeah, we just don't wanna be in that position again, so.
Yeah, and I don't think you guys should be. I like the idea of doing the small increments. To me, that makes sense. And I think that, that sweet number, I made a few phone calls and I kind of checked around too, and it was like that 102, 105 was a really nice number to kind of be at, and that 110, I think is what, you guys are like at 108. So I mean, that's a really good number that you guys have, and I think it's well within the parameter of where we should be. So I guess with that said, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and I've always been a firm believer, but if the money's there, you guys earned it. I mean, you guys do all your guys' own fundraising, you guys do, in the work, the job you guys do, you guys earn it every year, every time you guys go out and call, so, and Jan filled me in, and Cindy filled me in too on that meeting, since I wasn't able to make it myself, and yeah, I'm okay with that too, so. I think smaller jumps is a little bit more manageable, and then we don't get into a situation where you guys are waiting 23 years for another
Right.
increase,
Just keeps it
Yeah.
more on a fair playing field, for everybody, and.
Yeah, the only thing that I ask is that, you guys are doing an excellent job with the fund, is just, be honest, if that number is not there, maybe we do something a little smaller, 50, or maybe we don't, maybe we skip a year, just to make sure that, at the end of the day, if something does happen, we're not going to the taxpayers in Eden Valley to bail out your guys' relief fund for your guys' retirement. Trying to avoid that situation. Like I said, you guys are doing an awesome job with it, so I don't have any concerns at all, so.
And I really like the idea too, of that way we can fit into our budget every year and see how everything fits together.
Yeah, so with that being said, I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve a $50 increase with contingency that every year we'll look at doing another 50 for at least the next 3 years. Got a second?
I
Second that.
Go ahead, Troy got it, yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Abstain.
All right,
Thank you.
thanks, guys.
Yep.
Is there a time of the year that you'd want us to revisit?
We come in there in August.
Yeah,
I think you have to.
I think that's when you guys, this year, and then the last time you guys came in was about August, wasn't it? Yeah, let's keep it at August. All right.
Thanks for
Thanks, guys.
coming.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Yep.
guys. Have a good night. All right, on to.
See you.
Second.
Walk safely, Dave. See you.
All right, then on to liquor license renewals. All right, so did everybody get their stuff turned in?
They did.
Wow.
I have all three.
All right. Typically, we kind of have, do we have everything, everybody's got everything in there?
They do. Do
Okay.
you normally get a copy?
Yeah.
I apologize.
No, that's okay. Well, we'll give you a pass this time.
One pass, the next time we'll be good to go.
Yeah, no, that way we can, when we approve them, if there's like, if it's like contingency on insurance or
Okay.
that, we can,
We have all three of them.
all three. All right.
Do
Then I
you
will-
want to know what you're approving?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I thought they knew which one, sorry.
Oh, if you included it in their agenda packet.
Well, Valiant has off sale and on sale on Sunday. And Eden Valley Liquor is just off sale. And then Eddie's is off sale and on sale.
Oh, I'm sorry. Eddie's is only on sale. Valley Inn is on sale and Sunday.
And no Sunday for Eddie.
And Eddie's is only on sale. And the only off sale is Valley Liquor.
Okay.
So Valley Inn is on, off, and Sunday?
No.
They don't do on, I apologize.
On sale on Sunday for Valley.
Yep,
All right,
off sale's the liquor store.
Valley Liquor is off sale.
And then Eddie's went and took Sunday off for the new license and is just doing it on this day.
all right. Any questions? All right, then I will go ahead and, I know we've done it in the past, we just kind of walk through each one individually.
All right,
So I'll go ahead, let's see, I'll make a motion to approve the license for on sale and Sunday sales for Valley Inn. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Then I'll make a motion to approve liquor license for Valley Liquor for off sale.
Second?
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
And then finally, wrapping it up for Fast Eddie's for on sale only.
It's fat.
It's
Oh,
Fat Eddie's.
Eddie's. Why do I keep wanting to say Fast Eddie's? Fat Eddie's.
I'll second that one as
All
well.
right, second on that, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you. All right, and then on to ordinance number 2018-6, amending Title B, Chapter 51 and 52 of the Eden Valley, of the City of Eden Valley Code. So, looks like what we need to do is putting in the verbiage for, in Chapter 52, payment charges and late payment collection. And something 51. Oh, yeah, 51, adding the section G.
It was also part in D that where we struck all 30 days and added a day.
Added a day, okay.
And it looks like a month there too, every month.
All right.
we were going over it when Mona was going over the new codified ordinances. We were reading through this and she said, where's the shut off part of it? And so, in looking through it, it got missed, so we just need to make sure that gets added.
Okay.
All right. Anybody comments? Then I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the amendments to ordinance number 2018-6, amending the code for the City of Eden Valley for Chapter 5, or Title 5, Chapters 51 and 52.
I'll second.
Troy, second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, and zoning administrator compliance officer reports. I better call you Darren this time, because I got a little flak on Mr. Hondo.
All right, we'll start with the zoning. We had one application for 16 by 36 addition at Jack's Oil. It was approved. And that's all we had for the zoning meeting. That was yesterday.
Now, was that work actually started before they applied for the permit?
They applied for the permit on, what, November 14th, I think it was stated. So I don't know if, but it was definitely started before they applied for it, or before
they
it was
did.
approved.
Yeah.
I think it's the second page there.
All right. Well, how do we want to handle that? Letting John know that next time, next building project, please wait until your permit's been approved.
Yeah, but don't we have anything in the laws now? Was there
Well,
a
it may have been a miscommunication between me and him, to be honest. I asked him an email for some additional information. And then he said, hope you understand. And I said, all looks good. Thanks. So I should have said, all looks good, I'll let you know when it passes, if it passes. So that might have been part of the problem, I don't know.
I think he wanted to get the post in the ground before it got too,
Probably could
ground
have
got
been
too hard too.
Okay. Okay.
So we're gonna set a precedent of letting him buy with it?
I think he was communicating with Darren.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like
Process.
it wasn't like he just started the project and then filed all the paperwork. I mean, granted, yeah, he should have waited until his permit was approved. And I do worry about setting precedents like that.
I did not know he was starting it until one of you guys said it today,
Okay.
so I had no idea.
Do we have anything in there for violation of?
There's no, well, the other thing you gotta think of, there's no issue on the lot lines there at all. He's sitting in the middle of his lot, I mean, he owns everything about 400 feet on both sides of it, so there's gonna be no,
There's not gonna be any.
no,
issues
there's
or
gonna be no
anything,
issues
so-
at all. And I don't know, what was the square footage on that there?
I was like 500 square foot addition or something like that.
So, I mean, Darren's got, he can approve up to what, 250?
Yeah.
So, I mean, there was no lot line issues, I mean, it's not a good thing, but I think it sounds like a little miscommunication, we're gonna have no issues with any of the setbacks or any of that stuff, so.
Plus the time of the year.
Time of the year, trying to get, yeah, I mean, I just maybe just.
Yeah, but that starts becoming an issue too, though. That'd be like me trying to build a pole shed and say, well, I gotta wait for Darren, but I just put the poles in. I mean, it's same thing. I mean, I think we're starting to tread on thin ground there, I think, is gonna be the issue. You know, we sit there and do precedents about, our rental ordinances, you know, and that's the problem. If we start letting things slide, well then, that, I understand maybe there's a miscommunication, that I can understand, you know. So I guess you gotta look at it, was it a miscommunication or did he just do it to do it?
I don't know that.
Yeah, and I wasn't aware of it until yesterday when I seen it.
Would you be adequate, Darren, to send him a written verbal notice and, hey, you know, next time?
I'd be okay with that, and I think that's where I was going with it, is just, you know, give him a gentle slap on the wrist.
Right. I guess that's up to the council,
Well, I mean, we gotta do something so we're not like we've been saying, we don't want to end up
Right.
setting precedent and people are, you know, putting up, and the next thing you know, somebody's gonna be putting up a house, digging a hole for a house and, oh, but I got the permit application in, you know, so.
You know, I guess you're kind of risking it themselves. If it doesn't get approved, then they gotta tear it down or whatever, you know, so it's kind of on them.
All right. Let's go ahead, I don't see any issues with that, so, we'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting minutes from December 4th.
I second it.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
And I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve Derek Properties, application for an addition to their Jack's Oil building.
I second it.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Then an update on 392 Closart. We have been unable to find him and serve him the papers we need to serve.
Which one? 349 Cozart?
392.
That's the one on.
Over here.
That's the one on Cribbing.
Okay.
So I called Adam and I kind of talked to him, I asked him what our options were, and Adam is really pushing for us to do whatever we have to do to not have it go to court. He doesn't think it's worth going to court over, it sounds like.
He's in California right now. Should be back this week, I think.
Talked to him
The
today.
owner of that property.
Oh, he is?
He is.
Okay, okay.
I do see that he finally poured a foundation.
If it came down to it and we're concerned about safety issues and kids falling in the holes or the excavation, we could erect a fence on that property around it for him and charge him or put it towards our taxes if we had to, Adam said.
That's an attractive option, but I think he's got it now where I think the majority of the safety concerns.
Does he have does he have walls up?
got walls up, he doesn't have it backfilled yet, so it's still.
Is the house sitting on it yet, or is it just still on stilts?
Still numerous, a number of ordinances that he's violating right now, including not even having a permit to do any of the work.
Yeah, he said, you think he's gonna be back next week?
Should be.
Alright. Actually, and where you,
Yeah, Ernie's
Were you
been
in
trying
Ernie?
to,
That makes sense.
alright,
so maybe we'll give it another month and hopefully get served next week, and then I can update you and have it done. You know, my paper said he needed to have, a new license by the 1st, and the work completed by the 15th.
yeah, and he doesn't have either one of those done,
No.
or will not have either one of those done.
Correct. So if we want to wait and serve them next week, we'll rewrite it and give them another week to get the license in, and then another 15 days after that to finish the work.
Thoughts?
Bulldozer. I mean,
It's a good thought.
What are you gonna do now?
I mean,
it's like,
we're-
what are you really gonna do? So you put a fence up?
What do you?
And then how long is it gonna take to get somebody to come in here, put a fence up around it
Yeah, that's,
In frozen ground.
on frozen ground, yeah.
But he definitely has to get a building permit.
Renew that at the very,
Hmm?
he definitely needs to renew his building permit.
Yeah.
In the letter, he has to renew it, and then a time frame on when the work will be done. So that's what I'm gonna require in order to issue a permit.
Good luck.
Yeah.
It's just not gonna be an easy solution to this, is there?
No, there's not.
And Adam said it's impossible.
It won't get completed unless we force it. We have to keep forcing it somehow.
Yeah. I'm kind of, you know, looks like Adam's advice though is to keep trying to serve that notice to them.
Right.
And he knows, he's worked with Rick in numerous other cities, and he says it's terrible.
He knows how to play the game well, doesn't he?
he's got money to play with.
All right, well, I'd be okay, I guess, well, I guess I'm not okay with it, but I guess we're gonna have to, you know, do the, you know, we have to apply for a permit and have the work completed. What, should we just go 15 days from the permit?
Then what?
If he doesn't, what if he's not done within 15 days?
But yeah, what happens in 15 days? What kind of fence? Our discretion?
Whatever we decide is necessary to keep children and people from falling in the hole.
What are you thinking?
Build that wall?
Might look like a castle by the time we're done.
With the basement walls up, it's actually safer now than what it was before.
Oh,
But it's still not,
But it's still not
it's
safe.
still not a good site.
So he's got it as far as he can put the house down on the foundation?
I would think, I mean, he was pouring concrete, so I would think he'd be able to lower it anytime. I don't know if he has to wait for concrete to dry longer since it's cold out. I don't know all of that.
Do you know when he poured the walls?
It's been a couple of weeks. I mean, I think it was shortly after November's meeting.
Yeah, I thought.
Troy's the closest person we have here is a
Well, if that
concrete
was gonna
expert.
be the case, then there should have been heaters. and-
November's meeting.
Yeah. you'd have
He should have been
heaters and
set
all that
already then.
stuff. That should have been, yeah.
How long has he been in California? A month? A couple weeks?
He said a week. When I talked to him, he's been gone over a week already, so. I think he left the Friday after Thanksgiving, I think, when he took off.
So we got anything in place so this doesn't happen again?
I think we put it in
Put
the
it
thing
in
now
that.
that they have to have the basement
Yeah.
in place before they move the house in.
Yeah,
It's 15 days, then what? Then you gotta renew it and
Yeah.
just,
So you're just gonna issue him a 15-day permit? Or is it actually a year permit that but you're giving,
I don't know. I think our permits are good for a year, but I don't know if we don't really have anything in
I don't think we
place.
have anything written in our ordinance where we could issue a short-term, a short-term permit.
so I guess my point is, even if he,
You won't abide by it anyway.
It doesn't
Well,
matter
right,
to him 'cause
yeah.
he's got money, what's the difference to him?
I'm just thinking for legality purpose, if we do end up taking them to court, we can't give them another year,
right,
you know? We need to give them a time frame, and I can ask Adam what would happen if, you know, our permits are good for a year, or what happens if I give them 15 days
So
after
basically, the
that.
only other option you have is build a wall and assess him, if you wanted to go that route.
But it could still sit there for another year.
Right.
well, I guess what you said, you know, give them you issue the permit with the 15-day contingency and say, if it's not setting in 15 days, we're putting a fence up. And you're paying for it. You know, I guess that's the only thing we can tell them.
We don't keep pushing on this here, that building will be like that a year from now. It'll be
Right.
the same shape.
But we can't put it in there like, it has to be done by the end of June.
It's too much time.
Yeah,
That's
June's too much
way
time.
too long.
I mean, he doesn't have a whole lot, it doesn't need to be thawed to set the house. I don't know how froze his dirt is, but, I mean, guess it doesn't necessarily need to be thawed for him to move the dirt any place either.
This is not good.
Or we have to wait for him to get back so you can get a hold of him.
I'll write up a new letter then, and I'll give them 15 days after we serve them.
And then when we do, when he doesn't abide by that, and just tell Adam, sorry, we tried.
Does he own the property? I assume he owns the property the house is on.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can put the fence up and assess the property, in which case has to pay for it. But I don't know how we push him to get it.
Well, I'm thinking that might not even be enough of an incentive for him either.
No, that's what I'm saying, you know, if he's got money to burn, putting a fence up is just actually helping him out.
It's-
But then, there again, you know, putting the fence up is covering our skins, if you will. You know, if somebody were to fall in that, in the hole now,
Build a snow fence.
Who would be liable?
who's liable? Is it him or is it us? Because we're not pushing it hard enough.
I guess technically you don't have a building permit,
So
so technically it'd be his fault.
It'd be on him.
It's on his property.
And we do now have penalties for not having builder permit? Can we put some of those in place?
Yes, we did.
Does that pertain in this particular instance?
Sure. He's doing work without a building permit. No matter if he had one or not, his old one ran out, so he doesn't have a building permit.
So not only will he get assessed for a fence, he'll get his penalties for building without a permit. Whether or not that helps or not, I mean, we're doing what we can.
I'm just trying to think of anything that would incentivize him to finish.
Talking to Adam,
Good luck.
no, there's nothing that's gonna,
He's one speed,
his own.
and it's his speed,
You know?
and your speed.
Adam's gonna do a little thinking and see what else he can come up with, but I don't know exactly why he doesn't wanna go directly to court with them. If it's just, if he thinks it's gonna be too expensive for the city to do it, or what exactly the reason is behind that, but he's gonna do a little more digging and see what else he can come up with, and but in the meantime, I'll get him served again, and if that's what you guys wanna do.
Let's get the papers served and
Yeah,
Just
let's
start-
go from there.
Start the process.
Because there's nothing we can do at this point, because he still hasn't got any notice from us,
Yeah.
saying that there's an issue. He may know there's one, but he hasn't got a formal notice saying that.
Okay. All right, yeah, let's go that route.
All right, rental now. 3 units left to get rented that are past due. 477 Maple Street. I called Bethany on that one the other day, and we should have a court date set within a week, she said, give or take, depending on how busy the court is, but she said soon we'll have a court date set. She hasn't heard anything from the owner's lawyer about transfer of ownership or anything like that yet, so I'm assuming nothing's gonna happen. 167 Meeker, we have still being remodeled. 349 Coleman, final notice will be sent out. I inspected it and there's a couple of issues, and they ignored the first notice, so final notice will be sent out on that one. 364 Maple Street is licensed now, and then I got 3 units coming up to be inspected for December. That miscellaneous is old, I forgot to delete that on this month.
So on the Maple Street one,
Yes.
does that go to,
364 or 477?
477?
Okay.
Does that go to the legal property owner, or does that go to Mr. Getzko?
That's a good question.
Or all the above.
Or all the
Probably all
above?
the above, yes.
Because I had a conversation with the legal property owner, and he said they tried to get Mr. Getzko to sign that years ago, and he wouldn't sign it. Sign the property back over.
Like 10? Ish.
10-ish, give or take. Basically, when he gave up the property, he wanted him to sign the property back over, and he wouldn't do it. So the legal property owner is more than willing to sign the property over. From what I gather.
Is he required, is he responsible for the back taxes then too?
I don't know.
If you would think, I mean, that's probably a tax attorney question, or a lawyer question, but
I would
my
hope,
logic is telling me that technically he would, whoever's registered property owner is liable for the property taxes.
But didn't,
Jim's the registered property owner, right?
no,
No,
Oh.
But you never got it switched over.
but didn't Mrs. Gutsko state that, they were working with the county and getting that paid up?
And how can you pay back taxes on something you don't know?
Oh,
I mean, you can, I know you can pay you can pay against taxes that you don't owe on property, I know that. I don't know, you're the boss here, I'm out.
You guys threw me in the wolves here for the first couple months, so I'm learning a lot here too, so I don't
Maybe we'll
honestly
have
have all the answers.
talk
I
with
don't
the
know. I've been
lawyer.
going to
That's
Bethany a
the
lot and
only
asking her a
thing.
lot of questions, so at this point.
It's just odd to me though, I mean, if it's theirs, why wouldn't they transfer it? What's the reason why it's not transferred? You know, that's the $1,000,000 question, I guess,
I
here.
think Pat was saying that Jim Getzko just didn't want to sign the paperwork.
well, that goes to Troy's point though, is if,
But why,
why wouldn't Jim want to get it back in his name?
just sell it, not touch it, sell it, be done.
I guess if I was the other party that actually has the name on it, I would say, tell Mr. Getzko, if you're not going to change the title over, then you gotta get anybody out of that building until,
Then why don't he sell it? There you go,
there you go.
sell it.
I don't know.
I don't know if we want to be in the.
I don't wanna get into that. We're not real estate.
Giving legal advice.
No, good luck.
All right, anybody got anything for Darren?
I'm all done, that's all I got.
I heard that I just wanna make sure that obviously you live really close to it, but the food shelf, I heard they're going to tear down and rebuild.
Correct. That
Have
was
they-
approved already, I think that was like my first month that I was on.
Oh, okay, so we did go through that. I just don't remember.
It was just doing something with the property lines, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we required them to, it was so close.
Oh,
that
no,
we
I
required
remember
them to
that.
get it.
was
No, I
the first.
remember it. Yep. Okay.
All right,
It's all good?
Thank you.
thank you,
Thanks,
Darren.
Darren.
Have fun.
All right, on to public forum. Anybody have any comments? No? On to paying of bills. So,
I make a motion to pay bills.
all right, Dan makes a motion to pay the bills. I'll second that motion. All in favor?
All right.
All right, on to department reports. So Cindy, this is gonna be your official first report.
It is, hopefully I did better than I did with the packets, apparently. You should have in your packet the cash and investment balances. That's for November. I don't know how you want to do it, but there's a total on there of, it has both, $2,254,822.37.
Numbers are looking good.
There.
All right. Anything else you got for us?
I do not.
All right, anybody have anything for Cindy?
I'll work this month, I have more in January.
All right, then on to Ernie.
I do not have a monthly report for this month. The girls are on vacation, so I did not get one sent to me, but I'll give you 2 next month. Update on Officer Moe, he's doing very well. I was on vacation for 10 days in Kentucky and Nashville. He actually got in on a pretty serious call. Talked to the officer on the scene, and the undersheriff sounded like he did a real good job, helped him out with that, so it's obviously a learning curve, you know, but he's doing good. He's picking stuff up, you know, he asked a lot of questions, so he's doing fine. The Christmas train on our end, we're ready to go. I think we're good to go on our end for that. Everything's set for law enforcement side. I think that's all I got.
All right. Anybody got anything for Ernie? All right, on to Jim.
Christmas train is set for our side as well. Fire and rescue are both going to help, as they always have in the past. Barricades go up, garbage cans go up. We get, like we did a few years back when it was warm, tremendous amount. Anybody here on the lines? Is that taken care of for trails?
Yes, somebody on the lines over, yeah.
Okay. All right, that's,
Can make one text, well.
do not know about that. But other than that, yeah, I really don't have anything else tonight. Unless you have something for me.
How's our water sewer connection going with the auto guy? Have you ever paid for the connection fee?
For the dealership, our new dealership down there.
I was thinking name auto.
Yes,
The
no,
automobile, yes.
yeah, the auto shop.
That's in these
He
categories.
did not.
Yeah, I just emailed him a bill today and said that this needs to be taken care of by the end of the year. Because I said, haven't heard anything back from you, you didn't come back with any plan, let's get this taken care of.
So that's the, both connections, so,
Yes.
okay.
Is that water turned on now? Is that, it's still off?
There's no service line, is that correct, Jim?
Correct.
The sewer is connected, but there is no service line for the water, is that?
It's nothing to it. It's there, but it's nothing to anything.
Nothing to the building, or?
To the building.
It's to the building.
To the building.
Okay.
So the water service line is to the building as well?
Both water and sewer to the building.
It's not like he doesn't pay, we can't shut off the services. He doesn't have anything hooked up to it.
There's nothing to it.
Yeah.
It's just, it's in the ground there. That's where it is.
So it is billed to him, so if he doesn't pay it, you can certify it.
Certified to the
Next
debt,
year.
okay, all right. Okay. All right, anybody got anything for Jim? Else? All right, on to that, as Ernie alluded to, we do have the holiday train coming on Wednesday, December 12th. The train should arrive at approximately 9 p.m. Please join us starting at 5:30 at the Eden Valley Community Center, where we will have kids' activities, parented by Frosty and Santa Claus. And this year we've got, looks like we've got the entertainment of the Eden Valley Watkins Band and Choir with special guest Grace and Notes. So look forward to seeing everybody there and enjoying the entertainment, the food, the camaraderie, and then later on the holiday train. They always do a good job with that holiday train.
It's fun.
That's a good time.
I have another, a date has been set for the physicals for the fire department for January 6th, 8th of 19, so.
Okay. Good job.
Thanks.
Finally getting there. All right, anybody, anything else? All right, with that being said, we do have one more meeting. It's going to be a workshop. It's going to be on December 19th at 7 p.m. That will be held here at City Hall. And then our very first meeting of 2019, looks like that will actually be on the 9th of January, unless we have...
It's a second meeting.
Second.
Oh, it is going to be on the 2nd? That's right, because we were going to change that and just do it every, weren't we? That's all right.
The first Wednesday of the month.
First Wednesday of the month,
Okay.
yeah, I'm still like a policy behind here.
Oh, that's all right.
So we have it on a second?
On the 2nd,
We're gonna have a meeting on the second?
Yep,
What was the workshop?
19th of
19.
December.
Is that rental?
Yep, that'll be the rental and, zoning. And then, then our first official council meeting of the new year will be on the 2nd of January at 7 o'clock here at City Hall. All right, with that being said, I'll go ahead and entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion made.
Motion made by Becker.
Second.
Oh, man, that's a tough one. Anybody got a coin for a flip on that one?
Dan.
All right, we'll give it to Dan this time. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.